Donetsk on Tuesday, while Ukrainian forces reported 176 clashes along the front lines. Russia also destroyed several Ukrainian military sites, including electronic warfare stations and ammunition depots, using advanced weapons such as the Kinzhal hypersonic missile. In response, Ukraine's military targeted Russian personnel and equipment, particularly in the Slobozansky and Kursk regions. Both sides reported significant drone activity, with Ukraine downing 256 Russian drones and 18 missiles, while Russia destroyed 259 Ukrainian drones. Diplomatically, Ukraine and Russia are set to meet in Istanbul for peace talks today, on Thursday, led by Ukrainian National Security and Defense Council Secretary Rustom Umerov. The focus will be on prisoner exchanges and the return of deported Ukrainian children. Meanwhile, Russia reported seizing Warachin in Ukraine's Sumy region, further expanding its territorial control. Russia's military rearmament continues, with plans to spend $1.1 trillion by 2036 in preparation for potential NATO conflict. Now we go back to our guest discussion with Professor Veselin Popovsky. He's a professor and vice dean at Jindal Global Law School. Thank you, Professor, for staying with us. Now, what are the implications of Russia's $1.1 trillion military rearmament plan through 2036, especially concerning potential future conflicts with NATO?
Again, we need to double check the numbers here and whether this is simply a promise to gather some domestic support for the otherwise criminal action done by Kremlin and Vladimir Putin. I simply will ask, where will Russia get that money from if its economy is collapsing over time? And it will be even worse because of the continuous losses by Russian army in Ukraine. It lost already 1 million soldiers, over 1 million, dead and injured. I heard yesterday they are trying to import Indian working people, 1 million of working people, but that's again for me not proven, not confirmed and verified. So the Russian economy is in shambles, and I don't expect much in terms of possible mobilization of human resources, possible mobilization of financial resources or any other resources. So yes, any statement by the Russian authorities I will take with some kind of a doubt whether that's possible or not, or whether it's just yet another propaganda tool to make things look good. And that's what usually in dictatorship, it's always like this, you know. Everybody around Vladimir Putin will try to tell him that everything is fine, everything is going under the plan, we are doing well, we can mobilize this and that. But that's what he wants to hear from the people around him. There is no criticism, there is no protest, as I mentioned earlier. Ukraine is a very different story. It's an open society, it's democratic. President Zelensky can listen to criticism and improve if he makes a mistake. President Putin cannot listen and cannot improve if he makes mistakes, and he does make a lot of mistakes. So that's the difference here, and I'm not sure that Russia will produce that amount of munitions and weapons and more military force. They are really exhausting the last possible options there. And the fact that Russia had to buy soldiers from North Korea, 25,000, is already signaling why does Russia need North Koreans to fight? Because they don't have Russians anymore. That's the answer. Nobody in Russia wants to fight that war. And they have to go to North Korea to bring soldiers from over there. So that's the reality here. And again, I would not possibly trust the information coming from such sources in Moscow.
Thank you very much, Professor Veselin Popovsky, for joining us today and sharing